What Lies in the Multiverse is a mysterious puzzle platformer where you explore different universes together with the charismatic scientist Everett. But not everything is as it seems. This guy carries dark secrets and has a questionable past. How will their relationship develop? In this review I discuss basic aspects of the game and how it's experienced on the Nintendo Switch. I received a review copy of his game, and with that said, let's take a closer look at What Lies in the Multiverse. To be honest, I get surprised when game developers manage to come up with interesting ideas in platform games. It's hard to make a unique game that offers something new. In What Lies in the Multiverse, you use the ZR button to switch between different dimensions or parallel worlds. The game immediately becomes much more interesting. Sometimes you run around in forest environments or idyllic villages, but the opposite is much worse. Darkness, death, and inhospitable places, but it may be necessary to switch in order to advance in the game. This game contains lots of puzzles. Above all, it's about understanding how the parallel worlds are connected and what you need to do to solve different puzzles. Like here, for example, you have to switch between a rainy world and the forest to reach platforms, or in the village where you have to rob an idiot to steal a car. But the game's challenges also have another depth. Some courses test your skills in being able to see a larger whole. For example, find different key cards to unlock portals. I can't say that it's particularly cryptic though. You usually understand how the puzzles are constructed, but sometimes you may need to think for a while to find the right solution. The puzzles are definitely entertaining and in my opinion one of the best aspects of this game. One thing that is a little strange though is this. You can move big boxes, defy gravity, make big jumps and so on, but to carry a small box? Almost impossible. Look at this. How is it possible that your character has superpowers but can't jump with a small box without stumbling and falling to the ground? It's really annoying actually. You play as an ingenious child who through his computer manages to get in touch with other worlds. Pretty soon you meet Everett, an eccentric and strange guy who guides you through the game. The game's story is quite interesting and develops in an unexpected way. You never know who is good and evil, which creates tension. After a while you get chased and you have to escape. But what are the motives of the hunters and what do they want? I won't spoil, but they play an important role in the story. In addition, you can find certain documents that tell you more about different people or the world you are in. You get lots of background information about important characters and get to know their different fates. I like it. The difficulty of this game is well balanced. The puzzles are quite easy at first, but gradually becomes larger and more complex. In addition, new elements are added that make it more and more tricky. You will not use firearms or anything like that in this game. You can only jump and interact with different objects. Sometimes I had to think for a while to understand how different things can be used, which contributes to the difficulty, but after a while I saw what needed to be done. However, this part was quite frustrating. As soon as you come in contact with the black holes, you change world. So you have to figure out which black holes to use to be able to move on. Not very easy, but with a little patience, everything is possible. The graphics are pixelated 100%, but the experience can vary. For example, I think the kid looks a little bit boring actually. However, many of the environments are quite nice. The village looks inviting. There are also many details, for example inside the pub or the casino. In addition, there are different background layers that create a graphic depth, which for the most part looks good. Yeah, it's a comprehensive game with many different environments. Overall, I think the pixelated graphics looks good, albeit a little blank at times. In the game you can also get achievements. For example, you're rewarded for how badly you play. I got an achievement because I managed to die in all possible ways. Well done. I drowned, got crushed, fell from a high altitude and so on. I don't know if I should pay tribute to myself, but I guess you have to do what it takes to get all these different achievements. The control is perfectly okay, however there is not much to know really. You can move left and right, climb and jump. It is possible to interact with different objects, which for the most part feels good. Yeah, it was only these boxes that felt awkward. Other than that, the control is responsive and nothing that affects the game negatively. It took me about 10 hours from start to finish. but I took it easy, no stress. I'm sure the game can be completed much faster, especially when playing through the game a second time. It's also possible to visit completed chapters. Then it will be easy to return to specific worlds in order to investigate. Maybe you have missed finding specific documents or notes. This means that the game has a certain replay value, in addition to being able to complete different achievements. I can see myself playing through the game at a later time, when I have forgotten all the puzzles and want to relive the story again. The game's narrative is actually quite extensive, lots of cutscenes and long dialogues, but I don't want to say that it feels drawn out. In my playthrough I experienced that it worked well, both in handheld and docked. On a few occasions I noticed that my character froze for a microsecond, but nothing that affected my overall experience. No crashes either, that's fine. If you like a different pixelated 2D game with lots of puzzles, I think this game is worth checking out. Please subscribe to my channel for more reviews and other content. Have a nice day, bye!